you can think, so I like to think of